in the last hour, the C-string got shut.
It warmed up from playing. That's another thing that will happen. And Connor said he felt like his music stand was too high up in the air. So
For him it may have been.
Yeah.
We adjust these for us, we don't adjust the other ones.
Yeah, wherever you want it. So, we are live. Let's see if we're actually live. Because until we
look on the
until
iPad.
we look on the iPad, we don't actually know if we are in fact live or we only think we're live. So let's see what we got going here. We'll switch this to basement. I haven't figured out why the devices don't switch. So one of the things I did is, while this house is not bad for signal, I was noticing that our router's right in the middle, so I put
boosters,
yeah. But then I can't get the devices to switch on their own. So now let's jump in. I think we are. Everything looked okay. Go here.
It's not that you can't get them to switch on their own. Sometimes they do. It's just not necessarily to the one that's closest.
Or like mine was still
That's
attached.
even weirder.
Mine was still attached to the one upstairs, and that was.
I have that with mine. We'll stick with whichever one it was connected to last, and I'll just flip it over. But
The problem is when I come down here, if it's trying to send to the one upstairs, we will have a problem. So, okay, and then we go to.
I haven't had a problem in a while, but I was sitting in the kitchen on the first floor.
There
and
we
I
go.
kept wanting
We
to
are
change to the
live.
one upstairs in this end of the house.
Okay. 6 folks on already.
Hello, everyone.
How did I get the comments thing again? Let's see.
Hit the comment button in the bottom.
Yes. I gotta find
It disappeared again. It was there a minute ago. There.
Comments. There we go. Adela's on. Sarah's on. Time to upgrade to a mesh network. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Oh, hey, Katerina. Sarah Reisman's on. Hey, Caitlin's on. Hey, folks. Connor's on. So, good. Everything seems. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought somehow it ran the volume all the way up to max. Oh, my Sir Colin from East Kingdom's watching. Hey, sir. We're gonna have a good crowd tonight. A little blues music. So welcome. Nice to see a few folks I haven't heard from in a while because we're all not able to go anywhere or do anything. So good to have all of you on tonight. Got an interesting, little different flavor for tonight's show. So.
I'm like, I don't think we have anything from the 60s or 70s tonight.
Well, our Celtic piece is from. Oh no, it's from the 90s.
We have nothing from the 60s or 70s
I
tonight.
don't think so.
Well, next week we'll be back to an all 60s and 70s show most probably, but yeah, we got 80s,
We have 30s.
When was Starting Gun from?
86.
86. All right.
That is probably my all-time favorite. It's probably my all-time favorite blues song. I like to think that Robert Cray would be pleased that we're playing it, as opposed to how bad we were probably not playing it. So welcome. So we have to do a few things as we are. Are we on time? The lights shine on the mantle clock perfectly, so I can't read it.
6:53.
So we are drinking our usual cider boys. Cider boys are out. Tom and I are drinking Peach County.
And I have my Mad Bark.
Best cider you can get. This is just our absolute favorite. And joining us this week is my, I would say lifelong, because it feels like we've been friends for more than 30 years.
More than some people's lifetime.
Yeah.
More than many that I've been friends with you longer than some of the BAs I work with have been alive.
Yes.
Been 30 years. Tom Bolenbaugh, or Baron Sir Nicholas in the SCA, brought his harmonicas. What kind of harmonicas are you playing tonight?
Most of mine are Hohner Special 20s. That is my standard, although I do have one Seidel in low D.
And I am playing my beautiful Alvarez 6-string that my wife got for me for I think my 26th or 27th birthday. That's guitar a long time. And if it looks familiar, it's because this is the guitar you'll most see me playing in the STA. This is the one that goes to Penzic. It's been a workhorse of a guitar, and it got some love from my luthier. I probably hadn't had it in 10 years, and he was like, yeah, I need a little bit of work. So I'm playing an Alvarez 6-string. Love my Alvarez 6-string guitar.
And for most of the pieces, I'm playing my Ohana. But for the last piece, I'm breaking out my banjolele because I started playing it and said this song calls for a banjo. So
Part of it is we're doing a little bit of bluegrass, and it's remarkable. The banjo doesn't get a lot of love, and it's funny. It's sort of like in FinTan in my band, because I just don't have enough to do to while away the empty hours. We all have a joke because our whistle player plays accordion, and it's like, welcome to heaven, here's your harp, welcome to hell, here's your accordion. You can insert banjo, all the great jokes, we know them all. You hear about the guy who accidentally left his banjo in the backseat of his car, and his car was unlocked. Came back several hours later, found 2 banjos. We're here all week, folks. Try the deal. So this week, because we have harmonica, I know that I'm gonna knock this over. So I'm gonna do that. We're doing a rather different selection of songs. And although this first piece was written in the 30s, it probably came to prominence in the 60s.
yes, this was a version. Yes,
the one that most everyone will recognize.
I remember seeing it played on more than one variety show.
Oh, I gotta get some more, and I'm gonna get a different flavor. This mint is painful. My voice is a little beat up. FinTan had its last gig of the season outdoors. Friday night, it was about 60 degrees when we started. It was about 50 degrees when we finished. We played from 7 to 11. But at our local, in Dayton, there's really only one Irish pub. It's the Dublin Pub. It's been there for 25 years now. And we played there quite a bit, and always fun. But it was a little chilly out, and I didn't think to wear a scarf if my former bassist, if Tamara was on, she would be harping on me for not having worn a scarf, and she would be right. So I burned my voice a little bit, but we'll see if we can't get through everything. But are we on time?
Looks like we're about 5 till over there.
Just a little bit of time.
Three more minutes.
So, but we're going to continue doing music at least until the end of January. Theoretically, Keith Lewis will be joining us in 2 weeks. I haven't heard. We had lunch last week and talked about putting together. Said he's one of the 2 people who taught me to play guitar. Really, the 2 people I credit, Keith Lewis and Rick Smith, were the guys I spent all my time with learning guitar from. We had Rick Smith, Connor McClellan on 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
And I think he's going to be back in November. Because next week is our show, then hopefully Keith, and then we've got the Halloween show where we have a bunch of silly Halloween songs. We were going to try and do something from the Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elk, forget it. It's just not even.
Like most show tunes, it's really written for piano, and which means not only are the chords like changing every 2 words, they're chords you don't really play on string instruments.
Yeah.
But we're doing one of those types of songs tonight. We're doing a song.
The chords change every 2 beats. Well, I think we'll just go ahead because I think we're like at 22 or 23 minutes on this set. So we're going to start out. I think most of you will recognize this song. Just making sure I'm still in tune. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. comes a sweet and clean as moonlight through the pine. Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still and peaceful dreams I see. The road leads back to you. I said, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still and peaceful dreams I see. The road leads back to you. Oh, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I said, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. That was, of course, Georgia on My Mind. It was actually written, the words are by Stuart Gurrell and the music by the legendary Hoagie Carmichael in 1930. But of course, the version we are playing, and the version almost everybody knows, is by the legend Ray Charles. And that's the arrangement that we chose. But the song, I didn't know that the song was that old. Another Tin Pan Alley song of the era from the 30s, but
And we did simplify it. There was like 2 or 3 chords we got rid of.
only 2 or 3?
Yeah.
There's a lot of chords in
The
that
C
song.
sharp diminished 7.
The C sharp diminished 7 had to go. Just had to go. Again, like that song, and like when we did last week, the Rhinestone Cowboy, even though it was Glenn Campbell's song, it's written for orchestra. It's pianos and strings, and they're doing stuff, and it's, you know, like when they hit you with a chord, well, you need to play all 6 strings at different positions. You only got 5 fingers. That is not going to happen.
And I only have 4 strings.
Yeah. All right.
So at that point, I just swallowed the harmonica.
Yeah. Some people might know this song.
Okay.
Or you think I should intro it?
Well, he's famous enough that the person who did this arrangement of it is famous enough that others may have heard it.
Okay, we're gonna. You think so? Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get the tempo here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Before you accuse me, take a look at yourself. Bo Diddley, 1957. But the arrangement and style and where you might have heard it, it's one of Eric Clapton's favorite songs to play. This arrangement was from Eric Clapton on MTV Unplugged, 1993. Like, y'all remember when MTV used to play music, like all music all the time? That was like their slogan.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV. As far as I can tell, they don't actually play music anymore. They're like a reality TV channel. I gave up.
This is another one I think that,
I think most of the SCA folks might recognize this. This is
it was used as a theme song.
yeah, it was a theme
Okay.
song for a television program. But I know that Master Lewis and I threw this in our sets when we were playing roaming around Penzic, and a lot of folks seem to know it. So we'll see if we can do it justice. Completely different than the last song. Probably more in the vein of what folks are used to hearing. So here we go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 40 shillings on the drum for those who volunteer to come to list and fight the foe today. Over the hills and far away. if you recognized it, it was the theme music for the Sharks series, which propelled Sean Bean to great stardom, and he's gone on to become a great, well-known actor. But John Tams wrote the music for Sharks Rifle series, and that's kind of cool. Because John Tams was he's not a musician, songwriter, not a famous one anyways.
He was an actor in the show.
He was an actor in the show, and I think that's just kind of neat. And I think when I raised this, I raised it just a teensy bit too much.
I thought it was too tall.
Yeah, it was. This is, so for any of you who've ever played guitar and you play on your toes, Rick Smith and I were talking about it. This is a guitar player's footrest, and I now really prefer playing with it. Covered up with a piece of cloth when we're in the SCA, but if you're playing guitar and have been trying to figure out a way to be more comfortable, that will really help.
We were at a show last fall, and the opening act was he actually teaches in Cincinnati, but he's from Brazil.
He's from Brazil, Marcelo Silva.
And he had one, and we're like, what is that? We're going to have to get one of those.
Yeah, he's a guitar player. He's a classical guitar player. He's very, very, very good. Obviously teaches at the Music Conservatory in Cincinnati. But he opened for the Kingston Trio.
No, he opened for Jake Shimabukuro.
Oh, I'm sorry. He opened for Jake Shimabukuro, who's probably the top ukulele player in the whole world right now.
I would say he's definitely within the top 5. No one would argue he's in the top 5.
But Marcelo was really good, but he had this thing and he was ready to go. It's like, okay, got to get one of those. And he's playing classical, so it's a little different, but yeah, I'm on his mailing list. He puts it was just like I was going to hope to get out to see him at something, but of course that's not going on right now.
Oh.
While there are many great blues rock songs, this is my favorite of all time. I never tire of listening to this song. I hope we can do it a reasonable degree of justice. Guitar is still in tune. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get a constant message when I call you on the phone. Get a strong, uneasy feeling, not sitting there alone. I'm having nasty, nasty vision. I know why now they don't have the intro. That feels long there before that we should be into that A minor sooner. So that was Smokin' Gun by the legendary Robert Cray, 1986, from his album Strong Persuader, which is an outstanding rock blues album. He got many accolades for the songs on this album for blending rock and jazz and blues into something that paid homage to the old style of blues but updated it for a more modern ear. I love that album. I love this song. If he's out there somewhere, I hope I appreciate that he recorded a song. I love this song. And in the song, the Smoking Gun, so in the first part of the song, a smoking gun from the era, when they used words like gat for gun, was sort of like a gigolo, a guy who dallied about with a lot of women. So in the first two verses, he keeps wondering if he is going to find his lady with that well-known smoking gun, the gigolo, and in the end, it's
Really good smoking gun.
He's killed him, or her, or both of them. That'd be a good blues one. He just shot everybody, right?
That's pretty much blues in a nutshell.
Yeah,
Blues is great music about bad behavior.
you choose all the songs, 3 of which are blues songs, and all 3 of them have to do with cheating.
I chose this song.
Yeah, I
you
didn't choose
chose
it.
Oh, okay, so 2 you
I thought I asked Tom if he wanted to give it a shot because Robert Cray's band is amazing and his guitar playing is amazing. If you like rock blues guitar, pick up that album. You can get it on iTunes. It's Strong Persuader by Robert Cray. It's so good.
Yeah, they say that in country music, if you play it backwards, you get your wife back, your house back, your car back. In blues, if you play it backwards, you lose them all again.
Right. I will remember that. But that's some clever lyrics too. All right. Now this song, I think we're going to intro ahead of time because it's unlikely, unless you are a harmonica player aficionado. So we're going to do a song. This is called "Keep It to Yourself," and it is by the king of harmonica, Sir Sonny Boy Williamson. 1959 is when he wrote this song, and he was not the first Sonny Boy Williamson. There was one. This Sonny Boy Williamson was active from the 20s into the 30s, and I think in the 40s into the 50s, and he passed away in the mid 60s, somewhere in there. And there was a Sonny Boy Williamson one who was big in Chicago from the 1916 to about the early 30s, mid 30s. And Alec Miller, who the record company told him to change his name to Sonny Boy Williamson to kind of build on that, but he is truly one of the great harmonica players of the era. And this was a song we found, and much thanks to Malcolm Gibson, who was one of the folks who helped me in my band move to the next level, who's a great harmonica player, suggested some harmonica players, and we were able to find a great tune. So something a little different, but this is "Keep It to Yourself." 1, 2, 3, 4. Your mother, don't tell your father, don't tell your sister, don't mention it to your brother, please, darling, keep it all to yourself. I don't want you to tell nobody, don't mention it to no one else. husband, I have a wife. You start to talking, that's my bottom line. Please, baby, you just keep on to yourself. Give me your favorite phrase, listen to no one else. That was nice. So, while many of the songs might not be recognizable for tonight's set, we got one more song. Pretty sure every person on here will know this tune.
But we discovered it's not the tune that we thought it was.
We will have a little history of this song, eminently recognizable, but quite interesting that Tom suggested this song version by a band, and sadly, the band is defunct, and so I couldn't message them or ask them, where did you learn this version of the song? So our guess is probably it was just a handed-down song. They were definitely bluegrass players, and so they probably learned it from their parents or so on,
Well, Carter family certainly did it, but they did a slower version of it.
Well, we'll cover that in the history.
we'll cover that in history because...
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yes, you are.
Or yourself.
So anyways, this is our last song for tonight. We hope that you enjoyed this little diversion in our musical tastes. It's good for us to stretch ourselves a little bit. A lot of this was really hard because we don't have a big...
I learned 8 new chords this week.
I think I learned a bunch. And we got to reuse an odd Beatles chord. We got to reuse the E minor 6 from Eleanor Rigby. So that made me feel good. Like, oh yeah, I know that chord.
I got a whole new harmonica for this.
Yeah, you got a whole new harmonica. Well, yeah. You got the low D for Smoking Gun. All right. So, thank you as always, and stick around. We got a little bit of history of this song, which is really quite interesting. 1, 2, 3. I was standing by my window in the sky or in the sky. Nicely done. That was Will the Circle Be Unbroken? And if you were saying, as you were singing along, I've never heard that verse, there's a reason.
So first of all, he puts down that the words are by Ada Habersham, and the music's by Charles H. Gabriel, 1907. Well, not really. They wrote Will the Circle Be Unbroken? It was a praise song, and their words were used by the Metropolitan Quartet for recording in 1927, but this is the melody they used. They changed the melody from the original. Then in 1935, A.P. Carter of the Carter family fame decided he would like to do it, but they didn't like it being a praise song, so he wrote a funeral song. He changed all the verses, and he modified the chorus, and so that's the 1935 version, which is the basis for all the versions since then. It's like every single recording is slightly different, but the words are mostly like the Carter words, and it's the melody that goes back to 1927.
It's quite interesting about this song that there are hundreds of artists who've recorded it and not one version is the same, as near as I can tell. I looked through about 50 versions, and there's some small difference. This one sort of is cobbled together, and some of the language is a little strange.
I think part of it's because it's archaic.
It's archaic, right? Like whoever learned this song, and then they tinkered with it because the went back home. It went back home. The place was lonely. That's like, okay, like they tinkered with it. This was the version we used. The words that we used were by a group called the Turkey Creek String Band, and they started in somewheres around 2010, and they are defunct by 2015 was the last post by any of them anywhere. I didn't even tell really where they're from, but their version was nice, and it inserted. But so no matter what version you know, you're correct.
And if you want to find the early version, the Metropolitan Quartet, all their music's online. They were recorded by the Edison label, and they were a group from 1911 to 1929. And I actually found a catalog that has the songs online of all their music, and it's very much a church quartet.
Yeah, if you just do Google "Will the Circle Be Unbroken" song wiki, you'll get the page. You can see the original lyrics. Yeah, it's definitely a church hymn, and it's more of a question. That's one of the things that really changed to becoming this song, where there is a better home awaiting, and in the original one, it's like, is there a better home awaiting?
And the word Lord was not in the chorus.
Yeah, the Carter family added that.
Interesting.
So, thank you, Tom, for joining us.
Thank you.
I think we'll do this again in a few. It would be fun. We hope that you enjoyed this slight diversion. Next week we will be back to our more normal pop songs, but little something fun. It's good to stretch too. This was a good. I'm slow. I think I'm almost there. This almost 3 of the 6 songs had B7s.
Okay, they were all 7th chords.
Lots and lots of 7th chords.
He didn't really ever play 7th chords when I first met him.
Well, you don't use them in Irish music. In Irish music, you don't use 7ths for hardly anything. The G7 shows up once in a great while, but I was trying to think of a FinTan song where I play a 7th chord, and I couldn't think of one. And FinTan has 200 plus songs in their library. So, anyways, thank you for joining us again. Thanks, Tom. We had a good time. Good work. Next week we'll have a regular show, and hopefully in 2 weeks we'll have Keith, and then we'll have our Halloween show. Lots of fun, crazy songs. Again, if you have thoughts on artists or music we might do, or if you're a harmonica aficionado, Tom and I we're all working on another set for Tom to come back, maybe November or early December. So send us your thoughts. We hope that you are all safe and well, and we will be back with more music next week. Have a great week, everybody.
Stay safe.
Bye.